Hello, I'm Lindsay Milner of silverandtraining.com. How's work? Are you a good listener? Today I talked to Hayley Dunn, Knowledge Transfer Manager at the Royal College of GPs. She tells us a little about her work, what she enjoys, and we talk about the benefits of listening. Because of the nature of her work, confidentiality is of primary importance, so the examples that she's able to talk about are general in nature. But it's worth listening to for her insight on working relationships. Good afternoon, Hayley. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you could just kick off by telling us what it is that you do.
So my name's Hayley Dunn and I'm the Knowledge Transfer Manager at the Royal College of GPs. They're a membership organisation for GPs throughout the whole of the UK. And my role is not as Knowledge Transfer Manager is to manage the different programmes and projects around improving healthcare outcomes for patients and supporting GPs.
So it's a big job then?
Fairly, yes. It's very varied and challenging. So, yeah.
Can you tell us what is it that you particularly enjoy about the job?
I enjoy working for the organisation because it's a great place to work. I enjoy helping doctors to deliver better patient care in a kind of administrative way rather than a clinical way. I enjoy, as I say, the role is very challenging. It's very fast paced. I enjoy working as part of the primary care development team to help deliver, as I say, support and education to GPs and wider primary care teams as well.
Okay, so do you work closely with GPs or is it mostly within the sort of admin team that you're focused on, most of your working relationships?
Yeah, so all of the projects that I work on will have a clinical lead assigned to that project, and more so probably a steering group with wider GPs on there as well. So actually you can be working with either a single GP on a project, or there can be a team of 20 GPs. So yes, it is working directly with GPs but out of clinical practice.
Yeah. Okay, it sounds really interesting. Do you have any particular challenges, anything that you find difficult within that job? I mean, as I say, it sounds like a big job, so I'm sure there are challenges, but if there's anything that you could particularly pick out that you've had to really focus on to get good at?
I think time management is probably something that I've had to focus on, because when you are dealing with a team of 15 busy clinicians, actually getting them all to do something at one time can be very challenging, because they're all very busy in the day job and this may be a voluntary role that they're helping out with. So that can be a challenge, is actually just keeping the projects on track and making sure that they are all delivered within the time frame and in fact budget as well.
Yeah. Can you make it a little bit more real for us, because you're talking about projects, but maybe give us an example of a recent project that you've worked on, what you had to do as part of that project. Explain what you mean by project, really, I guess is what I'm asking.
Okay, so the projects will be around improving healthcare outcomes for patients, and then say you'll kind of have a team of clinicians or a clinician that will be the expert in that topic area. So my part of that project is to create project plans, create risk registers, trackers and KPIs, making sure that we set all those project documents up initially, and then also ensuring that they are tracked as we go, making sure that the risks are managed and making sure that we are meeting the deadlines and targets that we're expected to meet from the funders. So it's also managing relationships as well, in terms of within the
sorry,
time.
the video froze for a moment just then.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, and I was just, what was the last thing you said before it froze? Sorry, it's gone out of my head.
That's okay. So yeah, just making sure that the deadlines are all kept to and that the targets are all achieved, and that everything's delivered within time and budget.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
So managing relationships is quite a big part of that then.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Do you like that side of things, that sort of mixing with a wide group of people?
Yes, and I guess that everybody's got a vested interest of some sort in that project, whether it be a clinical interest, or whether it be a political interest, or an environmental interest. There's various different stakeholders, and various different reasons why they're stakeholders. So actually, it can be quite a challenge meeting all of their needs and ensuring that they are happy and that their needs are met, and also that they feel listened to as well. So making sure that in meetings and that they are consulted with, and that their opinions are respected and listened to.
That's a really important point, because there's lots of research out there which shows that being listened to is one of the most important things at work. We all want to feel that we've been listened to. So it's interesting that you've picked up on that. It's interesting as well, you're dealing with GPs who a lot of people would think of as almost like bosses, managers, and people say, oh, well, my manager doesn't listen to me, but you've kind of flipped that on its head, really, because you're actually saying that, well, those GPs, those clinicians, they need to feel listened to as well. So yeah, I think that's a really interesting point, and so important in the workplace.
Yeah, so I do find that they are always very respectful, and they always, even though they're the clinical experts, actually, in terms of delivering projects, I'm the expert, so they do listen to me in the same way that I also listen to them. So it's very mutual relationship.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. It's I'd say it's important from your point of view, I would have thought, to feel that your role is respected as well.
Yeah.
I know sort of many years ago, you and I worked together for a short while, and we had some challenges in that role. Can you give us an example of perhaps, either in your current role or in any past role, of a difficult working relationship, someone that you found it really difficult to get on with, and what strategies did you use to help get along with that person? You've got an example like that?
Actually, in one of the roles that I have worked in, I've been quite lucky, really. There hasn't been too many difficult relationships, but of course there's always times when you're not going to agree with everybody on everything. And one time in particular that I can think of was where I was line managing a member of staff who wasn't too happy about it. So I was acting up as their line manager, and they wasn't too happy about that. So actually they was kind of refusing to do like one-to-ones, and give me any information on any of the stuff they was working on, because it was like, well, you're not my boss, why should I tell you for? And I had to actually insert a little bit of authority and just say, actually, during this period I am your acting line manager, and I'm sorry that you don't respect that, or that you're not happy with that, but unfortunately this is the position that we found out both of ourselves in. And actually, the best thing that we can do is just work together as a team and try and find a way around this, so that we're both happy with the outcomes of it, rather than trying to battle each other. And as I say, just having that frank and firm conversation, really, at the time it didn't help. And so what I had to ask her to do was actually put it in writing, so that I could escalate it as to what her reasons were, why she didn't want to be line managed by me. And then actually she went away and thought about it for a few days and decided that she was maybe being a little bit over the top, and that she then conformed and was just like, okay, that's fine, let's get on with this then. And she was perfectly happy after that, and it was a very temporary thing, and in the end we was both happy with the outcome.
Well, that's good. So that shows that by actually, the potential for conflict was there, but by dealing with it head on and not actually, letting an unsatisfactory situation drag on. By dealing with it, you did actually resolve it.
Yes.
You didn't resolve it straight off, because those things often do take a little bit of effort and a continued effort, really. But yeah, well done.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody
And I
likes
guess it's
conflict.
also, making sure that she doesn't, that I wasn't actually a threat to her. I don't know why it was seen as some kind of threat. And, being, as well as kind of being authoritative, but also being quite reasonable myself and saying, actually, I understand that you're not happy with this, even though it's the position what it is, and actually just trying to be nice about it rather than being too firm.
Yeah.
Just trying to see that I'm a friend, not a friend, but not an enemy.
Yeah. So also you showed a little bit of empathy, I think, that
Mm-hmm.
you could understand that she was finding the situation difficult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I handled that really well. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about why you enjoy your work, why you think it's important for us to enjoy work, just to wrap this up?
Well, we do spend a lot of time at work, as everybody knows. So it is really important that we trust what we're doing is satisfactory, and that we are contributing sorry, in some way towards something that satisfies everybody as an individual. So it's very important that you enjoy your job, and that you can go there and feel not kind of regret going there, or thinking, oh, well, I can't be bothered to do this today. That you have got something in there that you do enjoy, that keeps you motivated.
Yeah, sounds good. And I'm really glad that you found that. Having, as I say, we worked together a long time ago, and there were some issues there. So yeah, that's thank you very much for your time, and
You're welcome.
hope you have a great day at work. I guess you're not working today, but when you're back at work, hope it's all fabulous.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for taking some time with me, and see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.